Morning everyone, whether you're watching, listening or reading this episode, welcome back to the Runpreneur vlog, where I am on a mission to raise £1 million for children's charities by vlog running consecutive days virtually around the world. So we're going to do that by running a minimum of 5 kilometres a day, and we're trying to reach the target of 40,075 kilometres in consecutive days of running 5k. So it's pretty epic, but plenty of time to raise lots of money. And as always, when I vlog, I talk about things that I'm passionate about, and I cover all things entrepreneurship and running. So it's a wet morning today. It's weather's not too bad. It's about 6 degrees. It's been quite a lot of rainfall overnight, so quite damp underfoot, but the temperature's warming up, so I can't complain. And it is Tuesday Tactics today. We talk about all things business systems and outsourcing, and today's topic is outsourcing your post. So as always, if you like this episode, give it a like and a subscribe, and let's get started. So, outsourcing your post. Now, I talk a lot about my days when I used to be the co-owner of Systems and Outsourcing, where my expertise was in systems, business systems and outsourcing. And one of the key things that was understood from working with 150 or so clients was that one of the biggest drains on people's time is reactive inbound communications. Okay, and what we mean by that is stuff that comes in an ad hoc basis, and you feel the need to react and respond to them, which completely distracts you and takes you out of your flow or away from the kind of most important tasks within your business. And the inbound comms is made up of phone calls, social media messages, text messages, emails, physical posts, and people, if you're working in an office, people coming and interrupting you. Okay, so there were 6 examples I gave you there. There's probably many more as well, and it, depending on what you do. But post is probably one that takes less of your time up from a reactive perspective, because you get it coming in once a day and that's it, whereas emails, you get them coming in all hours of every day. Same with social media messaging, phone calls, etc. So it's not one that's one of the largest time-saving activities, but it's still really important you have a process in place to deal with this, because if you're anything like me, I get quite a stack of posts on a regular basis with a lot to do with the property business, all the tenants, or all of the council tax notifications, all the utility bills. It's quite a vast amount that kind of comes in, and I have a really kind of easy way of dealing with it, and it's super easy to do. Anybody can set it up. There are other methods to do this, but ultimately what you're trying to do is be paperless to start with. You don't want to have stacks and stacks of paperwork that you have to work through, just cluttering up your desk, or you have to deal with things. You don't want that, so you need to switch to a paperless operation. And to switch to paperless, you need some form of scanning device that's going to scan your paperwork into some cloud-based server. You may want to back it up as well, just super protected. But I use the 2 cloud-based kind of platforms I use is Google Drive or G Suite or Google Workspace, I think it's now known as, for kind of documents and stuff that we work on. But for post and documentation, I prefer Evernote. And it's strange, people don't realise that Evernote is an epic cloud storage system, pure and simply because it has an amazing OCR technician, which is optical character recognition software embedded in it. So it reads everything you scan into it. And it then means that every word within every document is keyword searchable. So finding stuff is super easy. Now, if I saved everything into Google Drive or Google Workspace, I wouldn't be able to search for what's included in the body of the document. I'd only be able to search by the title. Now, I think there is some OCR add-ons for Google now. However, my experience today, the search facility is pretty poor. Whereas Evernote, really good, so stick to what I know. So that's a big advantage, being able to keyword search. The benefit of that is you don't have to worry about a really crazy filing structure. You may choose to file things if you prefer, but I don't bother, because I know with a few keywords and combination of keyword searches and Boolean searches, I'll talk about that in a separate episode, then you can pretty much find what you want within seconds, which is super powerful. And I've got like 60,000 documents in my Evernote at the moment. And the beauty of Evernote as well is that you get an extra 10 gigabytes of storage space every month. Now, I never upload 10 gigabytes into Evernote, but I get an extra 10 every month because it doesn't just reset and that's your 10 gigabytes is your maximum allowance. If you're on a paid subscription, I pay $4.99 a month and I get an extra 10 gigabytes every month. So my usage, the size of what I have, just goes up and up and up and up and up, which is amazing and super handy. So it's almost like unlimited as long as you don't go over 10 gigabytes a month. And then once you've scanned stuff into the cloud, you've obviously realised the benefit of becoming paperless, and you start doing it with receipts and all sorts of things. There's other pieces of software to deal with different things that I can talk about on separate episodes. But for today, it's managing the post. And what will generally happen with most people is post arrives. Oh, it's like, oh, curiosity killed the cat. I better go and open that post. They open the post, they read it all, and it was disrupted them immediately from what they're doing. Or they'll come home from work, you know, after COVID, obviously, and where they're actually working out and about. They'll come home from work, the post will be there, and quite often people can open the post even before they see the kids or their family. Again, a big distraction to the most important things in your life. So I'm not saying that this is going to solve that. You have to condition yourself to do that. But the benefit of it is you're not dealing with the post in terms of the actions or the follow-on actions that are required. And what you're going to do is when the post arrives, whenever you get round to it on a daily basis, you'll open it and you'll put it through your scanner. So either you have a scanner and you'll set the scanner up so that it links to your Evernote account, or I use a bit of a phone app because it's just much easier and more kind of convenient for me. It's called Scannable. It's a completely free app, and it's created by Evernote. So the purpose of it was to be able to scan documents in. They go into Evernote automatically. Okay, so I scan into Evernote, and so all the posts that I open, I go through it, and I don't look at actioning anything. I just sort it into, do I need to keep this? Do I not? And quite often, 75% of the posts you can just bin. It's completely irrelevant. You don't need to keep it. You don't need to refer back to it. If it's something you need to keep, or you feel the need to keep for a period of time, you just scan it in. So I could have quite a large amount of posts. I'll scan into the software within a minute or so, and it's into Evernote. And I have a notebook set up in Evernote called Asana, which is my project management software, and I've set up a Zapier automation which will take anything that I upload into that notebook and send it into my project management software, and it will actually send the attachment into Asana as well, which is super cool. Really easy to do. It's a preset Zap, okay, in Zapier. So if you're not familiar with Zapier, it's an automation tool which links two pieces of software together. So really, really cool for connecting apps and making them do, if this happens, then that happens. And in this instance, if I upload a document into a certain notebook in Evernote called Asana, then the action is that Zapier pulls that note into Asana as a task. Okay, and I have a project set up in Asana called Post Management, okay, that my PA or team of PAs have access to. Okay, so what then happens is once that process happens, so that's all it takes for me, you know, a minute a day just to scan my post. And quite often there's nothing that needs to go into Asana, there's no actions. But anything that I only put stuff that needs actions into Asana. Okay, so that's really important that you understand that only stuff that needs actions goes into Asana. If there's lots of stuff for reference, I just scan it and I just put it into my generic Evernote folder. But if there's an action required, it goes into Asana. So understand the differences there. You don't want to be cluttering up Asana with stuff that's not needed. Then my PAs, I have one PA, but she has kind of 2 or 3 people that work in her team, and they share the administrative duties because they have other tasks within the businesses that are super important. So they share the kind of PA role between themselves. So That's why I have a PA team. Sounds a lot more prestigious than it is. But it's game changing, honestly. If you haven't got a personal assistant, you need to really, really find one. But anyway, so they will then go through the post management project every day. Some days there's nothing to go through. Other days there'll be a document or a few documents to go through. And they will make notes on what needs to be done on it, and they'll put it into my inbox project. Now my inbox project in Asana is where emails that have been vetted come through to, messages that have been vetted come through to, phone calls that have been vetted come through to. Everything comes through, it's vetted into this inbox project that I have. And the benefit of that is that when you outsource all of your inbound comms, you know, the volume that comes in, it's like a funnel. It all just goes into the top. And through these mechanisms that you put in place, your PA team, only a teeny tiny percentage of them will get through to your inbox. So it means that what would normally take you hours and hours and hours a day takes you a few minutes. You know, for example, I get over 500 emails a day, and I probably get 7 to deal with on a daily basis that actually get through to me. So the difference between going through 500 emails a day and 7 is pretty significant. Phone calls, I sometimes switch phone calls onto me, I sometimes put them onto my PA team. But again, I used to get loads of phone calls. Now I probably only get maybe one, at the most one a day, because I'm so conditioned to the process and systems, and people know how to contact me now. And they know not to phone me because rarely do they get through. So it's just educating the people that work around you as well. And but the benefit of this is that once it's in your inbox, that's where you apply rules. So if it's if it's a council tax bill that I might have a tag for appeal because the tenant has pushed liability onto me when it should be the tenant, for example, and I have some templates that the PA team will respond on my behalf. So if that comes in, I just set the rule appeal, and then they'll always check, because you don't always appeal all the council tax notifications. So they'll check with me, and I can just quickly put file or appeal as a rule. And if it's appeal, they know how to appeal it for me, so I don't have to do it. It's the same with all the other posts that comes in. It might be an invoice that needs paying. Well, that just goes through to Receipt Bank, which gets uploaded into Xero, and then my accountant and finance team pay it when it's due. And I have all the financial setup, so I don't need to get involved in that. And the best I see of it is going to be on my management meeting with my finance director, where we go through the management reports. If there's any, increased expenditure, we'll scrutinise it and go through it then. So it's just having those rules in place and things come, and you'll find that when you start this, there'll be quite a lot of rules and things that you'll put in place. But once you've been doing it for a couple of weeks, the volume that comes in that you have to set rules for just reduces drastically. And then it only gets less and less and less as you add more and more rules and actions associated with things, so that your PA team can kind of pick it up for you. So that's how you outsource post. Now, it's relatively high level. I will do some more kind of video footage actually on my computer at some point, showing you how all this stuff works. But I just want to give you the high level side of things at the moment, so you understand how it all fits together and how it works. So to summarise, you need to use my setup anyway. You can use virtual offices as well, but they'll cost probably significantly more than $4.99 a month. And by the way, Evernote, you don't even need to pay for Evernote unless you're uploading a sufficient amounts to it, because the free version will do the same. So please bear that in mind as well. So this could be a free setup. Scannable is free as well. But if you use Evernote for pretty much everything, then it makes sense to pay. But so there's a little caveat there. But so virtual offices will do this for you, although they won't respond on your behalf. All they'll do is send you emails with post. So they'll help you go paperless. But this process I'm teaching you is how to manage or outsource the actual management of the post. So Evernote account, a scanner or a scanning app which scans into Evernote. Really important. A notebook that is set up for posts that needs actioning, okay, in Evernote, that you connect to your task management software. Okay, so I use Asana, and there are all loads of preset apps to do this. So preset zaps to do this with Zapier. Okay, and I think as time progresses, there'll be more and more native integrations as well. So, but I use a Zapier SAP, which has been pretty faultless for about the last 5 or 6 years or so, maybe more than that, since I've been using this setup. Okay, and then you have a post-management project in your task management software that your team of admin assistants will manage for you. And then you need an inbox project for you, where stuff for your attention will be brought, okay? And in the inbox section, you'll create rules and actions associated with different posts, and the team will log that information in a spreadsheet called rules and actions. So next time something from a similar company or similar email or whatever comes in, they refer to their rules sheet first before sending it on to you, which means that so much more gets actioned without your involvement. So I hope that's been useful. As always, if you've got any questions on this stuff, drop me a comment. I'll respond to everyone. If it's a bigger topic, I'll do a separate episode, vlog episode, and tag you in. All that's left to say is check out the link in my bio where you can follow me on all of my platforms. I've now got a YouTube channel, a blog, and a podcast so that you can watch, listen, or read my episodes, which will hopefully be pretty useful. And follow me on my epic challenge of raising £1 million over 15 years for children's charities by running every single day 15 years, a minimum of 5k. Pretty epic. I do it barefoot style, and I also do it I do it, you know, barefoot style, and I also do it for world record attempts to hopefully raise exposure of what we're doing. So all that's left to say is that the Runpreneur vlog was originally set up to help entrepreneurs and business owners overcome the emotions of stress, overwhelm and anxiety by using exercise, or in my case running, as a release valve. Just say hello to a couple of guys. Morning chaps. And I think it's so important because so many of us struggle with these emotions and don't have that release valve. And if you don't have that release valve to process, clear your head, you know, gain clarity and focus on moving forwards, these stresses and pressures build up like pressure does in a pipe. And if you don't deal with the stresses on a daily or weekly basis, they will evolve to overwhelm. Once you get to overwhelm, you hit kind of entrepreneurial seizure, or you start procrastinating, and then when stuff's not getting done, you then start panicking, and it pushes you into the realms of anxiety and anxiety attacks, which are into the world of mental health issues, which clearly we want to avoid. And I've been there. I've lost multiple businesses because of this. I've lost multiple business partners because of this, and I've almost been bankrupt because of this. And it's no coincidence that in the last 9 months, since introducing this running vlog into my life, this daily running vlog, which is my release valve, I've made more progress in the last 9 months than I have in the previous 4 years. So hopefully that's pretty sufficient social proof that this stuff works. And my pledge to you is that if you are someone struggling with this, just drop me a message, okay? There's no catch here, okay? I'm not selling anything, I'm not charging anything, but I will jump on a quick phone call with you, and I'll give you some hints and tips and pointers that have helped me so dramatically that I'm convinced they're transferable to you and your life and get you back on the right path. Now, many have taken me up on this already, and I know we've made a really positive difference to so many people's lives, as that's what I want to continue doing on this journey. So I always said that if this vlog just helps one person or saves one business, it's been 1,000,000% worthwhile. So reach out, the help is there. It's often easier taking it from a stranger than someone nearest and dearest, and it's often free. Quite a lot of people will charge you lots of money, but this is free. It's about hopefully helping as many people as we can. So don't be stubborn, reach out, help is available if you just are prepared to ask for it. So on that note, all that's left to say is, if you like this episode, give it a like, a comment and subscribe on whichever platform you are viewing it on, or reading or listening to it on. And if you want to see similar content, each platform should be catalogued nice and neatly by topic, so you should be able to find stuff that's very relevant to you. And all that's left to say is stay positive, stay happy, and I'll see you tomorrow.